Hello everyone, welcome to part 4 of common errors. As we continue from the earlier 3 lectures on common errors, let's see some more examples here. Here we have 2 words, one is moral and the second one is morale. Let's see the difference here. The first one, moral, is a noun or adjective meaning of or related to principles of right or wrong, and when we pronounce it we give the stress or we give the accent on the first syllable, so it is moral. Example, and compare with this one, we have morale here. This is a noun. It means self-esteem or belief in oneself or others, and when we pronounce this word it is accented on the second syllable, so we have to pronounce it not moral but morale. Let's see examples here. Please tell us more. No, okay. Please tell moral stories. So this moral here is regarding what is right or wrong. And number 2 here, the general's bravery lifted the morale of the soldiers. Here, morale means the belief in themselves among the soldiers. Here we have 3 words. Let's see the differences. The first one, it means no one or nothing, and it is pronounced as none. Let's see example here. None of them arrived in time. Means no one arrived. Next, see the next one. This NUN is also pronounced as none, and it is a member of a Christian community. Let's see example here. She has become a nun. Compare with this one, with the first of these 2. Let's see the third one, NON. This is a prefix in English formation of words. It negates, or let's say it means the opposite or negative or reverse of something, as in non-conformist or non-cooperation. And one thing, it is pronounced not none but non. Let's see example here. Mahatma Gandhi was famous for his non-violence movement. So the non-violence here means opposed to violence, or which is reverse of violence. Okay, let's see now. Oriental or Asian. What shall we use? Let's see. Oriental, actually it is an old-fashioned word for Asian. So old-fashioned word means we usually do not use it nowadays. So instead of that we can use our nationality, like Indian, Japanese, Chinese. Instead of using Asian or Oriental, which is old-fashioned, we can use direct nationality, a particular nation to which one belongs. And now 2 overseas are here. Let's see the differences. The first one, it means to supervise, guide, or to give direction. And the second one means abroad or in a foreign country. Let's see the example here. He oversees the workers in the garment factory. Here oversees, it means he supervises the workers. Second one, the overseas branches of the bank are doing well. Here overseas, it means the foreign, means overseas branches mean foreign branches. Only the spelling is different, even though the pronunciation is the same. And now let's see the difference between a podium and a lectern. Podium is a raised platform on which you stand to give a speech. Let's see. On which you stand means you stand on a podium. And compare with this one, lectern, you stand behind it. Okay, it's a piece of furniture on which you place your notes and behind which you stand. So you do not stand on a lectern, but you stand behind it. Let's see example here in this picture here. In the first picture you see a lady in green. She's standing not on a lectern but behind a lectern. And then you see 3 athletes standing on a podium. And finally, you see the lady here, she's standing on a podium. At the same time, she's standing behind a lectern. And here also, the speaker is standing and speaking behind a lectern, not podium. Podium is on which we stand, and lectern behind which we stand while we give presentations or speeches. Next here, let's see the differences between presently and currently. Presently it means soon, and currently means now, happening right now. Let's see example here. He is presently arriving means he is arriving soon. Number 2 here, Mr. Biden is currently addressing the public. Here he is addressing currently means he is addressing right now. And now let's see, have a look at these 3 words. The first one, quiet. It means silence or very little noise. See here, the children kept quiet when they saw me, means they became silent. And the second, this is silence. Next here, quiet with ending with te. This one is an adverb. It means a little or a lot, but not completely, and this is generally considered a synonym of the word very. Let's see example here. Your story is quite convincing means your story is very convincing. And the last one is not quite, is quit. It means to stop or to leave something. Let's say I have quit smoking means I have stopped smoking. So this is the difference. Now let's come to another pair of words. The first one is raise and the second one is rise. Let's see, raise, it is a transitive verb, means it takes an object. And rise, it is intransitive, and we see that in rise it is intransitive, so it rises, okay, it raises itself. Let's see examples for further details here. The president raised the flag in the ceremony. So to the verb raise, you can ask, the president raised. The president raised what? You'll get an object. The president raised the flag. So it is transitive. So the president has raised something. And here the girls raise money for the event. And here the girls raise what? They raise money. So these are transitives. So in transitives we use raise. The subject raises something. Now coming to the intransitive here. The sun rises every morning. You can ask here, the sun rises what? The sun rises itself, the sun. It's not that somebody or something is raising the sun, it raises itself. So we use rise. So the sun rises every morning. In the same way here, I rise early in the morning. Here I rise whom? I rise, or let's say I rise myself. So it is, so I raise myself, so it is, we use rise. This is also intransitive. So there's the difference between raise and rise. Now let's see, select and selected as adjectives mostly, but the first one, selected, mostly used as verb, mostly to say it is the past or past participle of the word select, which means to choose. And select usually we use as an adjective. It means special and chosen because of its outstanding qualities. Let's see some examples here. She selected the red shirt over the yellow. So here she has chosen the red shirt. Now here let's see number 2. Select articles would be published in a book. Here select articles means articles which have been selected because of its outstanding qualities. Let's come to the next pair of words here. sensual and sensuous. Sensual, it means gratifying the carnal senses. Especially we are talking about sexual desires. And number 2 here, it related to the senses, means without sexual. The senses means we are talking about the 5 senses. See examples here. Okay, we put example here. Sensual, it is a physical thing, and sensuous is an aesthetic thing related with the philosophy of beauty, okay, particularly related with arts and philosophy of beauty and, let's say, pleasure. Okay. Now let's move to the example. It was a very sensual massage. Means the massage, it was one which was arousing sexual feelings. So that is what we call sensual. Against that we have here, her flower garden creates a sensuous environment. Here sensuous, here it means an environment. A sensuous environment means an environment which is aesthetically pleasing to the senses, without sexual connotation, of course. So let's move on to the next here. Set up is a single word or 2 words. The first single word, it means a noun. Okay? It is a noun and it means the way in which something is arranged or planned. Let's see here. This hotel has a great setup for hosting banquets. So let's see. Here setup, it means the way in which things are arranged in the hotel. Here set up is 2 words. It is a verb phrase. It means putting things in order or installing software on a computer or even arranging things in order, etc. So let's see an example here. They set me up for a crime I didn't commit. Here they set me up. Set up is 2 different means. They arrange, means they put things as if I have committed the crime, even though I didn't. And now let's see this difference between shade and shadow. What is the shade? It is any dark area in which sunlight or any other bright light it has been blocked. See here, you see in the picture, the tree has cast its shade. You can sit in the shade there. You can sit on the benches and the benches are in the shade. And shadow, it is a dark shape that appears on a surface when an object blocks sunlight or any other light. Let's look at the picture here. You look at the lady here. The lady is looking at her, not shade, but her shadow. To further explain the difference, let's see here. We have lunch in the shade of a banyan tree. So at the same time we can see children are running after each other's shadow. Okay, now to further explain, another phrase is here, in the shade. When do we say in the shade? Underneath a tree on a hot sunny day, if you are sitting underneath a tree, we say in the shade. Okay, you see here, if you sit on these benches, which is let's say underneath a tree where it has cast its shade, then you are in the shade. You are sitting in the shade. Instead of that, if you are inside a building, it's not in the shade, but it is out of the sun. You see in the picture here, the people here are sitting out of the sun because they are inside a building. Another one here, if you are under a roof, of course, but with no walls, then you are not out of the sun, but you are in the shade. That's like in the shade of a tree. You see here in this picture, in the garden, you see the structure there. If you are sitting inside this structure has got no walls surrounding it. It's an open structure, even though it has got a roof. So you are in the shade. Now let's come to the difference between these two silicons. The first silicon here, it is a chemical element. The symbol is Si, and this chemical element is one which we see that is being used very most of the time in these mobile chips and other electronic chips. But this one, this silicon with a letter E at the end, it is something that let's say that looks like a plastic. It's a plastic like semi-inorganic polymer, and as we see, it is very much used in industry, like we say, most famous being this silicone breast implants and the likes. So there's a difference between these two silicons, with or without the letter E. Coming to these three words, sometime is a single word, or is two words, as well as sometimes. Let's see the first one, sometimes. It means it is an adverb. Okay, it means at some point of time in the past or even in future. As an adjective, it can mean occasionally or former even. Let's see example here. It happened sometime yesterday. Here is the first one. It is used as an adverb, meaning it happened sometime yesterday, means at some point of time yesterday. And the second, my sometime friend has become the boss. Here, as an adjective, my sometime friend means my former friend. Sometime used as two words, it means a period of time. Let's see an example here. Give me some time to finish the work. Give me some duration or a period of time to finish the work. Let's come to the third one. Sometimes, it means occasionally. Let's see example here. He sometimes comes here on Sundays. Means he occasionally comes here on Sundays. Now let's come to these two words, two stationaries with one is N-A-R-Y and one is N-E-R-Y, the ending words. I mean the ending letters. Use the first one. The first one is, it means not moving. Means stationary, not moving. Okay, let's see example here. The train has remained stationary since yesterday. Means the train has remained, okay, the train has not moved since yesterday. And the second one, it is related to writing. Let's say materials, writing materials like pen, paper, eraser, ink. All these are stationary items. So we can see example here. Go to the stationery store and get a ream of paper. So there's this difference between these two stationaries. Let's come to then. T-H-A-N or E-N. Let's see the difference. T-H-A-N, then, we use this when comparing one thing with another. And T-H-E-N, then, it refers to time, when we are talking about time. Let's see. The pen is mightier than the sword. So we use then when we are comparing two things, pen and sword. And come to the second example here. First boil the water in a kettle and then add sugar and tea leaves. Here, then, we are talking about time. Means after boiling, after the time of boiling water in a kettle for some time, then means after that time you add sugar and tea leaves. And now, at last, let's see these two words, vocation and a vocation. Vocation, it means one's job, one's employment. Let's see. And number two, this one, a vocation means one's hobby or task, away from one's employment, which is not for money. Let's say here, example, teaching is my vocation. Here, vocation, it means teaching is my job. And see the second example. Even though Jan is a doctor, singing is her a vocation. Here, singing is her hobby, even though she is a doctor. There's the difference between vocation and a vocation. Thank you for listening here. And these are some of the books that I suggest you go through. Thank you.